Do you want to know the one thing you can do to actually make more money? Okay, excuse me. I know that sounds kind of cheesy, but here's the thing. I'm actually going to share with you one very simple thing that you can do that not a lot of health and nutrition professionals actually think about because they get kind of caught up with what is going on in kind of state of the nation, right? And this is mostly thanks to social media, right? So how many times have you been sitting there in social media, whatever it is, and you're like, oh my gosh, that's that person or my colleague or my competitor, that person is doing this. Wow, that's a great idea. Wow, why didn't I think of that? Wow, they're making a ton of money doing that. Wow, they've got so much exposure. Maybe I should do that, right? All these thoughts are in your head like, maybe I should do that. Hey, been there, done that. And fortunately, I caught myself early on before I started making that mistake long term. Because here's the thing. You need to really focus on you and what you are good at. Try not to copycat other people. Like they're good at what they do. Other health and nutrition professionals own certain spaces. You own your space. Okay. Now, obviously you're going to share some spaces because we're all colleagues, but we do have different specialties, right? So here's what I want you to think about, and this is what is holding you back literally from making more money. And remember, again, this is like, all joking aside, obviously we all want to make more money, but we also want to add value. Like, why did you become a health and nutrition professional? I honestly know why I did. It's really to help people. I know it sounds silly, but isn't it really why we did this? Did you get into the trade because you're like, oh, I want to make $1 million? No. But you know what? You can actually make $1 million if you do it correctly. So here's the thing. This is what is holding you back. You are trying to sell information. Okay, wait, rewind. You probably went to university or college. You probably studied some type of health science, nutrition, medical, exercise, physiology, whatever, right? And it's your trade, right? You know it. You know it really well. You've got great certifications. Maybe you've had great mentors, mentorships. Fantastic. But you never really learned about selling, did you? Here's what happens. Here's where the landscape is at with health and nutrition professionals. We see someone doing something online and we're like, wow, that's a great idea. I can develop a course, right? I can write a book, like whatever it is, right? Let's pick a course because that's easy and that's actually really popular these days. I can develop a course. If so and so is doing it, certainly I can do it because I know about that. Here's the thing. This is what is holding you back. One thing. You're not selling information. What does a course sell? What does a course provide? Information. But wait, Bob, yes, I am selling information because I'm constructing or creating a course to sell it to clients. No, that is very, very wrong in terms of your thinking, right? So that is more of a fixed mindset in terms of income and income ceilings. If you're just thinking that I'm selling information, then listen, you're not going to break through your income ceiling, right? That's what's holding you back right now, guarantee it. But now you may be thinking, well, wait. What if I use technology? Because we've got a lot of great tools these days. What if I sell the information faster, right? So now it gets delivered faster. I can upload things. I can turn it around really quickly. I can create 10 courses. Been there, done that. Tried it, did not work because you have to think of this, right? Think of it. There are a few people that you see in social media that are just crushing it. I don't know if you've really studied the why or the how behind that, but usually it is a one-off, right? Or they got into it so quickly and they found this one little niche, like a very, very tiny niche, and it exploded. Great, fantastic. And listen, if you can create or find that niche, go for it. Absolutely, right? But most of us aren't in that subspecialty niche, right? Maybe you do have a niche, but it's not a subspecialty where like a million people will be like, oh my gosh, I need that, right? So this goes back to well, I'm just gonna sell information faster. Well, you could, right? Because technology and helps us out, but it's still going to hold you back from making a lot of money and adding more value, right? Just because you create 5 courses and put them on your website doesn't mean they're going to sell. Trust me, been there, done that, right? We need to kind of come back a little bit and think, okay, wait a second. And I'm not, in this example, I'm not bad mouthing courses. I think self-study courses, do it yourself, do it for yourself. Those definitely have a purpose. I get that. But what I'm talking about is helping you succeed in your financial goals. The way to do that is not selling information. It's not selling information quickly or faster. It is selling your thought process. Let me say that one more time. Selling your thought process. Now, there is a caveat to this. If you are just starting as a health and nutrition professional, you likely have not developed these skills yet. And honestly, it sounds weird, but you probably haven't developed your thought process yet, right? You are literally just trying to learn, right? Maybe you're working in a job right now, which is fantastic because what do jobs do early in your career? It teaches you how to learn, right? You're actually learning on the job, right? So you're getting paid to learn and to learn how to create your thought processes, right? So as an example, when I first started out as a sport dietitian, I really didn't know what I was doing, honestly. I had all this book knowledge. And then, yeah, you start working with some athletes or some clients are like, okay, I think I'll figure this stuff out. And you're like, how do I direct a conversation? Like I knew about behavior change, motivational interviewing, all this great stuff, and obviously a lot about nutrition and sport nutrition, but I didn't know how to put it into a process. So that's what I'm saying. As you progress in your career, and I've usually seen it take about 3 to 5 years. So there is hope if you're just starting your career, there is hope, right? Give it a few years, enjoy that time, learn a ton. You will develop your thought processes. But here's the thing, about 3 to 5 years in, now you start having some processes, right? You start having some systems built in, and you will always change your processes, always change your systems, but you will start having them. And that's what's key, is because that is what you want to sell. You will not be competing with another person who does the same exact course. Okay, Sport Nutrition 101 course. There's probably a million of those out there. Could I provide a Sport Nutrition 101 course for athletes? Sure. Do I? No. Why? Because I don't want to sell information. I want to sell my process, my system. Remember that. What's the difference between selling information and selling your thought process? You cannot be replicated when you are selling your thought process, right? It's like your patented system. So I have a patented system that I call my optimal nutrition system. It is my process of delivering information to athletes. And it's a 4-step process. I take every single athlete through it, and maybe we deviate at times based on their point in their life and what their goals are. But it's the process that I am selling. It's not the information. And I know you might be thinking, no, because you're still talking about stuff, so you're still selling your information. Well, yes and no. The information is part of my thought process. Once you start thinking that you're selling your process, basically your flow, right? Your systems, you will smash through your income ceiling. Obviously, there won't even be an income ceiling because you are selling what you have developed. You are not selling a Sport Nutrition 101 course or whatever course, right? That is competing with millions, right? You want to be unique in terms of providing value to your future clients. The way you do that is to package your thought processes and your systems. Now, of course, now you're thinking, okay, this may sound great, but I don't know what my thought processes are. I don't have a system yet. I get it. Been there, done that too, right? I will tell you that you actually do have a thought process. You just have to, pardon me, you have to think about it, right? Honestly, you really do. You have to think about, what are my processes? Like when let's say this, from start to end, when you work with a client in your trade, what do you do? Like spend time, write it down, right? Like I know what I do. I know what my flow and my process is. Okay, step one, you obviously have to communicate with them, or maybe step one is website and marketing and advertising, like whatever it is. Like follow these and write these steps down so you know what your processes are. Then what comes next is you will actually develop systems. And if you have not developed a system for your business in whatever niche or whatever subset of the health and nutrition career that you're in, you definitely need to spend some time thinking about how you put your thought processes into a system, what makes sense, because it is the thought processes and the system together that will literally expand not only your knowledge, but your financial freedom. Okay. Now, here's what I also recommend. It took me probably close to a decade to really fine tune my processes. I incorporated mentors throughout the way. I would highly recommend using mentors, right? And people that have been through it before, who have actually developed thought processes and systems before, not people, not your own colleagues who are going through it. And that's fine if you want to have peer-to-peer conversations, but those are not mentors. Mentors should be someone or someone where you are not yet, right? It could be one step, two step, three steps ahead, or where you want to be. That's what I chose when I was earlier in my career, because I wanted those mentors to kind of help lead me. And that is how you will break through the financial walls, the financial ceiling. So remember again, just to summarize, you're not selling information. You're not selling information faster. You are selling your thought processes and your systems. Thanks for listening.